to the rest of the world. The Security Council unanimously voted to impose sanctions on Iran over its nuclear program. And the French ambassador, for one, is optimistic the resolution will change Iran's course.
Iran has now a very clear-cut choice to make: cooperate with the international community or being more and more isolated. And we hope that Iran will make the right choice, the choice of dialogue.
Raghida Dergham is a senior diplomatic correspondent for Al Hayat newspaper and an MSNBC analyst. Raghida, nice to see you.
Thank you.
We are just right now, I've been handed the Bush administration's reaction to the fact that these resolutions have been passed in the United Nations, and it says that it hopes that this is going to clear the way for tougher sanctions. And in fact, Undersecretary of State Nicholas Burns says, and I quote here, "We don't think this resolution is enough in itself. We want the international community to take further action. We're certainly not going to put all our eggs in the UN basket." Was this a tough resolution for Iran to take? Was it tough enough, Raghida?
Tough enough. It is a first step. If Iran goes on with its position, which is defiance, then there would be additional measures for sure. It is not speaking, this resolution is not speaking about military action right now, but don't forget to look at the whole thing through what is the American policy in the region altogether right now. The President Bush told us we're staying in Iraq for quite a while, and I think he is thinking Iran in its essential position towards Iraq, towards the region, in terms of Lebanon, the Palestinians. But above all that, I think the message will be very clear that the United States is not without options with Iran. Look at the naval movement, look at the possibility, and that is not right now being talked about, but if Iraq ups the ante, it's not necessary for the United States to attack Iraq, but at least it can blockade it if it wants to, so that the oil will not go through the Hormuz Strait. So
yeah, you're referring to this potential plan by the United States to send another aircraft carrier into the Persian Gulf at this point, though no specifics have been made, and we haven't been told whether that plan has been approved at this point. But still, when back to the diplomatic efforts here, you're talking about 15 countries who have to agree on this resolution, and some of those countries have real economic ties to Iran.
And that is why it's very important, Contessa, what happened. It's very important that Russia and China signed on to this resolution. This resolution punishes Iran. Let's be very clear about it. It may not hurt it economically at this point, but this is an act of humiliation to Iran. It is telling Iran that you will be punished further if you go on defying. And I think the fact that it is unanimous sends, and by the way, as you know, President Putin, Vladimir Putin of Russia, spoke to President George W. Bush earlier before the vote. So I think this is being done at the highest levels, and therefore the message is double as effective, hopefully effective. But I don't think Iran is going to comply. I don't think Iran is going to just bow right now immediately, but I believe there will be further action, economic action at that.
And in fact, we've already heard from Iran that it is rejecting this resolution, but it has 60 days to comply, and then the UN Security Council comes back together again to discuss the situation and whether it has made any...
But we need to watch what Iran is doing on other issues, Contessa. It is certainly the nuclear issue is right now the focus, but take a look at Iran's actions in Lebanon, in Iraq, with the Palestinian issue. I think there is a complete look at the region and Iran's role in the region, and I think there is a very interesting conversation going on amongst the big powers, starting with Russia, China, and the United States, and of course the major European countries as well.
Raghida Dergham, thank you for your being with us today, breaking down some of the details of this resolution.
My pleasure. Thank you.